A bark, a bite, a overhand right. Welcome to Champ Talk, and I'm your host, Cornelius K9 Bundrage. That's right. Yeah, the dog is coming. So, it's big news on the streets. The big news on the streets is that Floyd Money Mayweather is about to have an exhibition fight against Logan Paul. That's right, against Logan Paul. And Logan Paul is he's 0-1 in a pro fights. But he's a YouTuber. So on YouTube, he's the man. But in a boxing ring, he's 0-1. He's a cruiserweight. And he stands at 6'2". Now Floyd Mayweather is about 5'8", 5'9", give and take an inch. But he is one of the greatest fighters of all time. Well, here we go again, y'all. That's right. Floyd Mayweather is about to rob the bank with no gun. He's fighting against a YouTuber. Now, when he fought Conor McGregor, and Conor McGregor came from the UFC, he was an actual UFC fighter. And his very first pro fight from fighting Mayweather, he got $100 million. Yes, $100 million. Let me rewind that. He made $100 million fighting Floyd Money Mayweather. So Floyd is a cash cow. And no matter what, both guys will win. Because at the end of the day, dollars do make sense. Now, Floyd is finna fight, like I say, Logan Paul in the exhibition. So if he loses, and they actually count these exhibitions as fights because Tyson fought against Roy Jones and they said it was a draw. So these exhibitions are actually They're actually counting. So if Floyd loses to Paul, then does it go on his record? No, it don't go on his record, which is the good thing. So at the end of the day, Floyd doesn't lose. If he was to get dropped or get hurt, because Logan Paul is the bigger guy. So he could actually hurt Floyd if he was to catch Floyd with the perfect shot or the right shot. But Floyd has one of the greatest defenses of all time. And I think this would be more like a sparring session versus an exhibition. Well, exhibition is kind of like sparring unless it's Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? Mike Tyson don't know how to spar. I'm talking about like sparring. He don't know how to, just have a regular exhibition. And I respect that, He's an animal in there. Floyd Mayweather isn't an animal in the ring, but he's a slick boxer. Now, we need to find out if it's going to be 3-round exhibition. Is the gloves going to be 16-ounce gloves? Are they wearing headgear? Because Mike Tyson and Roy Jones didn't wear headgear. And they had on 12-ounce gloves, and it was only 2-minute rounds. Will Floyd fight 2-minute rounds? Or will he fight 3-minute rounds? Will he have on 12-ounce gloves, 10-ounce gloves, or 16-ounce gloves? Will he wear headgear? And will the ring be big? Of course the ring going to be big. You know why? Because Floyd is calling all the shots. He's the man. He's the A-side. And I believe it to his best interest, it's better for it to be a big ring. Because then he got room to move. Now, when Mike Tyson fought Roy Jones, it was a smaller ring. You know why? Because Mike Tyson is the A-side. And Mike Tyson didn't want Roy Jones to be able to move and run. Now, other news, you have Clarissa Shields, better known as the GOAT, is about to enter the world of the MMA. She's about to enter UFC, combat sport. Not boxing. She's a boxer and she still boxing, but she's finna start doing MMA. Yes, she's about to start doing MMA. And guess who's coaching her right now? Jon Jones. That's right. He's probably the greatest UFC fighter of all time. He's actually coaching her. I saw it on Instagram. So she's being trained by the GOAT, and she's the GOAT. Now, there's a few things about that situation. Now, one thing I have to say in that situation that she's in, we're trying to do both, trying to compete in both fields, is that if she has a boxing match coming up, or a UFC fight coming up, which one will she take? well, of course, you take the one with the most money, right? But the only thing is, both fights will have to be, months. I'm talking about months on top of months apart. Because if she enters the UFC and she get cut, and she had a fight scheduled 2 months from now, she could go into that fight with her cut still kind of being open and not fully healed. And then so she gets in the ring with a female that actually hits that same spot where she was cut at. It can open back up, and she can possibly lose the fight on cuts. So this is a dangerous situation, and but if it's anyone that can pull it off, I believe she can. But it's dangerous. I think that she's trying to hit the jackpot. She's trying to get that fight with Amanda Nunes. That's right. And a fight with her and Amanda Nunes, she will make her first $1 million. That's right. Her first $1 million. She might make $2 or $3 million if she can actually show that she can actually fight in the MMA. And she seems to be serious. I mean, they signed her to a multi-deal. I don't want to say multi-million-dollar deal because I don't know what she got paid, but she is serious about it. She's definitely a good athlete. Like I say, I believe, I know for a fact now, if you stand up with her in MMA, in a cage, in a ring, whatever, she gonna knock your head off. What I worry about is if she get took down to the floor, to the ground, to the canvas, what's going to happen then? So we're gonna find out. We definitely gonna find out, and I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah, so let me fix the hoodie, y'all. So see what we got with it. Okay. Am I looking sharp now? SB trying to get me together. Okay. So now, but like I was saying though, y'all, Clarissa Shields is the GOAT in the boxing ring. But when you step into the cage, or when you step into MMA rules, then Amanda Nunes is the girl. She's the GOAT in that field. But if Clarissa can get paid, if she can knock out Amanda Nunes or beat Amanda Nunes, wow. She would go down as one of the greatest athletes in history. She would go down as one of the greatest athletes in history. She has a chance to do what no man or woman has ever done and become a world champion at the same time in boxing and MMA. And she already has made history in becoming the fastest fighter to win multiple belts in multiple divisions, in different divisions. So she's already in history books. She's the only female fighter, and I believe male fighter, that has won 2 gold medals back to back. So she's already in the history books. I would have loved to have saw a fight between her and Layla Ali on a Mike Tyson Roy Jones undercard. But I just don't think that Layla Ali would, take that fight. I think she would take it serious, but I don't know if it'd be enough time for her to actually go in there and really compete with someone that young, someone that good. And she done moved on with her life. She's doing well. She has her kids. She has her baby. She has a husband. And her best days are gone. So we just look at Layla Ali for what she accomplished, and we'll look at Clarissa Shields for what she's accomplishing. And I can't wait to see her first fight in a cage. And I don't care if she in there with someone she's supposed to beat, but just to go in there and to have heart, because I'm a man. And I'm a dog, you know what I'm saying? But, I get in that cage, I'm going to be a little leery, a little nervous. And I take my head off to her for even trying to do it, from competing, signing a contract, and doing it. I know one thing, that when you cross over, your celebrity becomes bigger. When Conor McGregor transferred or came over into the boxing ring, he made more money than he would have ever made anywhere else. He made $100 million in his very first fight. In his whole career of doing MMA, he never made $100 million. But in one fight, he made $100 million. He broke the bank. He set a record. I don't think it will never be, not unless Floyd Mayweather fights the other young man who just retired. And maybe y'all guys can tell me who that was. That could be one of the greatest, or who is maybe the greatest UFC fighter of all time. But that right there, I don't think no one ever break that record. $100 million in their very first pro fight. And to a certain extent, because I want you to get your money, it's crazy and it's sad, because I know other fighters on the outside looking in. It's like, I've competed and boxed all my life. Some fighters have been boxing since they was 4, 5 years old, and will never make $100 million. Not even if they have a 30 pro fights, 50 pro fights, and win 50 pro fights. To get that kind of money in your very first pro fight is unbelievable. Floyd Mayweather did not get $100 million in his first pro fight. You know what I'm saying? He got nowhere near that. You hear me? Nowhere near that. The biggest person he had got before he actually started making that money on pay-per-view is when he got $200 million to sign with Showtime. And that was in multiple fights. It wasn't just a one-fight deal. It was a contract of fighting a certain amount of fights. So, I mean, it's just a lot going on in boxing, man, and I'm just excited. Triller did real good. You know, Triller did real good. They invested $50 million. Yes, let me rewind that. They invested $50 million in getting a fight on Triller with Mike Tyson and Roy Jones. And they made $80 million. So they made a profit of $30 million. So that was a great profit. That was a great profit. That was good what they did. That was a great investment. Them are the words I'm looking for. It was a great investment. Yeah, Triller made a great investment. And now it looks like Snoop Doggy Dogg is actually finna start throwing pay-per-view fights for up-and-coming fighters on Triller. That's right. So Snoop Doggy Dogg has gotten a boxing game. That's right. Just like Jay Prince, you know, who's the owner of Rap-A-Lot. He's been in the boxing game for a minute. And some of y'all might not even know that Jay Prince actually was Floyd Mayweather's manager. Yes. 50 Cent was in the boxing game. That's right. Him and Floyd was doing business for a minute, and then they fell out. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's another story. Jay-Z even got in the boxing game. But let's go back to Snoop. Snoop Doggy Dogg is in the boxing game, y'all. Triller is making noise. Now, they trying to get their platform, that's right, to get super big. I actually got some connections with someone from Triller, a young man who told me that if I just made a few tweets about Triller, that they would give me the blue check. And, you know, it didn't pan out. It didn't happen. And I'm not that pressed about having a blue check. You know, I'm verified on Twitter, but I'm not verified on Instagram. And last time I looked, I said to myself, did I win 2 world titles? Yeah, I won 2 world titles. Am I the oldest world champion in junior middleweight history? Yeah, I'm the oldest world champion in junior middleweight history. Yeah. Did I fight on Showtime? What, about 4, 5, 6 times? Yeah, I did. Did I fight on ESPN? Yeah, I fought on ESPN. Did I fight on the the top 3 biggest reality show of all time? Yeah, Sylvester Stallone was the host of a reality show, him and Sugar Ray Leonard, called The Contender. Yeah, but I don't have a blue check. But guess what? Y'all know what it is. Politics, so they call it politics. But they say you can't play boxing. Well, if you can't play boxing, how did Mike Tyson get away with fighting Roy Jones, a guy who's not really a real heavyweight? How did he get away with that? And fight him in an exhibition. An exhibition, yes, where you paid $49.99 in the exhibition. So in the exhibition, you would think it would be on TV because it was for charity. Now, word on the streets is that Mike Tyson hit a blunt. He hit a blunt, that's right. Before he got in the ring, he was blowed. So he wasn't worried, I don't think, about Roy Jones. Now, if the streets are really talking, and I believe they are, Mike Tyson probably knew that Roy Jones wasn't in the shape that I thought he would be in, because when I saw both guys in the ring, I couldn't believe how Mike Tyson looked compared to Roy Jones. I thought Roy Jones would look kind of like how I'm looking right now, cut up like what up? But unfortunately, I was wrong. And it just didn't look like Roy Jones was really prepared for that fight. I don't know if he got an injury or whatever, because he wasn't moving like I thought he would move. Now, I know he's 51 years old, so of course he's not going to move like the younger Roy Jones, but I thought he would be able to move a lot better than he did. And all that holding, I was surprised that he was holding like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would hold too to stop from getting knocked out and getting hurt, but he just wasn't throwing fast punches, or he wasn't throwing enough punches. And he just kind of, to me, from what I saw, and I'm a Roy Jones fan, so it's hard to say what I'm about to say, it looked like he was surviving. It looked like he was scared. It really did. But at the end of the day, I ain't the one in there at that point in time. And I do know how it feels to be in there with somebody that's trying to knock you out. I done got stopped a few times in my career. Never knocked out. So I hate to hear commentators say, hey, to a fighter, when you got knocked out your last fight, you're coming off a knockout loss and you didn't get knocked out. Knocked out, unfortunately, is what Nate Robinson was. He was knocked out. When you like this, you're knocked out. But if you get up and the referee just stopped the fight, you're not knocked out. You might be a little buzzed, like you had some weed or like you drank a little too much. But a knockout is when you sleep. That's a knockout. So I've never been knocked out. Hey, K9, you ever been knocked out before? Or K9, I saw you when you got knocked out on Showtime. That was called a TKO. But I bounced back and I did get him. So like I said when I was on a reality show called The Contender, the first shall be last and the last shall be first. That's right. So I'm the last world champion out the original Crunk Gym. Yes, I am. And I was the first person on The Contender to fight. Yeah, season 2 The Contender. Y'all make sure y'all go check that out. I was the first one on The Contender to become a world champion. Yes, I was. That's exactly. I was the last one on The Contender to get picked in the schoolyard pick. Yes, I was. But like the Bible said, the first should be last and last should be first. So I just thank God that, he's the truth. And what he says will come to pass. Absolutely. You still a true champ, Big Capo. I appreciate that, man. I definitely appreciate that. Yes, indeed. Nate went night-night. Yes, he went night-night. Unbelievable. Yes, it was unbelievable. But like I say, you can't play boxing. You can to a certain extent, but then you can't to a certain extent. So you can play boxing, but then you can't play boxing. So it depends on the situation and who you are. I played boxing before. I played Mike Tyson Punch-Out. And I knocked Mike Tyson out on the video game. In the video game, yes, you can play boxing. But that's the whole other story. You can play boxing, but, it depends on how you trying to play it. Now, Mike Tyson was able to, like I say, fight Roy Jones in an exhibition. Yes, and he's the bigger guy. And he able to smoke a blunt because you got to remember, in the exhibition, I don't believe there's no drug testing. So ain't no pissing in a cup. Ain't no taking a blood test because it's an exhibition. It's for charity. They kept saying it's not going to be no decisions. If someone gets cut, we stop in a fight. But at the end of the day, or at the end of the fight, they said it was a draw. Nah, if y'all saw that fight, you tell me if that fight was a draw or not. I just think they just trying to set something up for the next fight. That's why I say you can play boxing. It depends on who you are. Don King was one of the best at playing boxing. He gave a fighter a blank contract and he signed it. You can't tell me he ain't played boxing. I believe that Don King actually set Mike Tyson up when he lost his first fight to Buster Douglas, because I know it was like 200-1 favorite that Mike Tyson would knock Buster Douglas out. Yes, and he got stopped. Yes, he got stopped. He got knocked out. He got TKO'd. He lost. And if you bet 200-1, if you bet $1, you probably get $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 off $1. So imagine if you bet $30 million. If you bet $30 million, you might get $300, $400, $500 million. I believe the mafia, yes, the mafia, bet $1 billion. That's right, $1 billion. Because this is a devil world. So, certain people got the money. The evil people got the money. So they bet $1 billion. So you bet $1 billion on Buster Douglas. You probably end up winning $1 trillion. So from that fight on, Buster Douglas became a rich man. The mafia became super rich. Don King still sitting on billions of dollars. That's right. And, and he's still trying to be in the boxing game, but he's being blackballed. That's right. He's being blackballed. I called Don King the other day, and it went to the voicemail. But I can still hear Don King talking about, come on back home, champ, K9. I love you, man. Come on back home. I still can hear him talking now. And rest in peace to Emmanuel Stewart, because I can hear him talking too, man. And yeah, K9, you know what I'm saying? You know, K9's a very good fighter, you know, and he's just one of my very favorite fighters at Crunk Gym, you know. And I just think that all he has to do is add the jab with his fight and start fighting a little bit regular, and he could just barely probably beat anybody. And that's the reason why K9, you know, so I believe it would beat Floyd Mayweather, and I think he'd beat Miguel Cotto because Styles may fight. And I just think that's right. Emmanuel Stewart, my mans. That's right. But like I say though, y'all, age ain't never but a number. And you can play boxing because Floyd Mayweather, what he's like 44 years old now, and he's getting paid millions of dollars for exhibitions. Mike Tyson is 55 years old, and he's getting paid millions of dollars for exhibition. Logan Paul, Jake Paul, they making millions of dollars in exhibitions. Nowadays, it's all about your social media. It's if you got a social media, I mean, if you got subscribers, millions of subscribers, if you got millions of Twitter followers, you got millions of followers on Instagram, you can make money. All you got to do is start boxing. You know what I'm saying? You go in there and box, and you can fight whoever you want to fight. If you're not the bigger name will fight you because they know you're not a real boxer. That's the reason why Floyd has no problem with sparring, having an exhibition. That's right, with Logan Paul, because he know that Logan Paul don't have the skills to be able to do really anything serious to him. Even though he's a bigger guy, he don't really have the same skills. He don't have a serious. Why wouldn't Floyd fight K9? You know, why wouldn't he give me a real fighter opportunity, a chance? Because I don't have a million subscribers on my Instagram or followers on Instagram or my YouTube, my Facebook, my Twitter, none of that. And I'm more of a threat because I'm a real fighter. Yes, I'm a real fighter. Logan Paul is not a real fighter. Now, Jake Paul is becoming a real fighter. Yes, he done got off his YouTube channel and took his fight serious. He's taking his career serious. Go look at his record. Go look at who he's fighting. He fought real fights. On my podcast, The Dog Pound, Bones Adams, you know, Bones is a former world champion who I know real good. He said that he said Logan Paul, he said Jake Paul, I get it mixed up because, you know, they both Pauls. But he said that Jake Paul is actually taking boxing serious. And even though he's not, you know, destroying his opponents or destroying his sparring partners in there because he's in there with real sparring partners, he's doing good and he's holding his own. So once he told me that, I knew that Nate Robinson was in trouble. Now, if I was Nate Robinson's trainer, you know, as I'm a real trainer, I'm someone that really shared the ring with real world champions. I really got experience. I've been around and been mentored by guys like Emmanuel Stewart, who I consider the greatest trainer of all time. I know the game. What I would have did is I would have had Nate Robinson in an exhibition. I'm talking about the exhibition before the exhibition. I would have threw a little exhibition, kind of like wherever he's from. I would have flew in. And I would have called everybody in his city, all the NBA basketball players, and it had been an exhibition because it would have gave him some experience. And where it would have been, he would have been in there with somebody that probably wouldn't have been trying to hurt him, who had more skills than him. But then it'd have been all the pressure on him, the lights would have been on him, and he didn't know what to do. Because if you watch when he fought against Jake Paul, you watch, he was like, man, he was like, dang, I gotta go out there and just and shoot my gun. He went out there and shot his gun because he was nervous, I believe, because he was in a position he was never in a boxing ring, and he didn't know what to do. And he knew that his opponent, you know, that Jake Paul, he knew his opponent Jake Paul had more experience than him, and it was pressure on him. He should have been prepared for that. He should have been in, like I said, an exhibition to prepare for that. And then he'd have knew how hard it really was and how hard it really is. Sparring and fighting is two different things. Sparring help you prepare for fighting, but if you ain't never really fought before in a pro fight or in an exhibition, a real exhibition with real small gloves on and the whole world is watching you, you're not going to have the experience to know what to do. And that's what came back to haunt him. I mean, I don't want to say he's a bum because he didn't look bad. He just was in there with a guy that had more experience than him. And all it took, even though he only had one or two fights more than Nate Robinson, that's all it takes. You do one or two fights. You can have one or two fights more than someone, and it can be a gang of experience. You know, in that one or two fights, he probably was training and getting ready for boxing and sparring and all that for 4 years. why Nate Robinson probably cold turkey stopped doing what he was doing is like, man, I'm gonna tell you what he probably was thinking. I'm gonna beat this white boy. This white boy can't do nothing with me. And I'm not, I'm not racist or none of that, but that's probably what he was thinking. And guess what? He got stopped. You know what I mean? He got KO'd. Not a TKO, because he was out of there for real. So one thing about, you see a white guy, you see a black guy, used to say, oh, remember these white men can't jump and white men ain't got rhythm. Well, if they don't, look at who they hiring. They hiring black guys. You know what I'm saying? Because, a good friend of mine, Jalen Love, was actually training Jake Paul. So you got guys actually that's been there that's teaching you and showing you that got a rhythm and can teach you rhythm. We all got rhythm. We all can jump. We all come from the same person. We all come from God. So I believe that Black Lives Matter, all lives matter. We all up under the sun. We all spit, doo-doo, fart, all that. You know what I'm saying? So everybody, that's right. Your favorite celebrity passed gas. That's right. Ain't nobody different than the other person. Don't nobody walk on air. Only one person that I believe truly walked on water. And it wasn't Jim Carrey. You know what I'm saying? It was Jesus. That's right. It was Jesus. So I'm just being real with y'all, man. At Champs Talk, Team K9 in the building. Shout out to SB. And I'm just keeping it 100. So I want to read these little comments right here, but I can't see all the comments like I want to be able to see them. But I know I see Earl Kenner on here saying, I could do all things through Christ. That's right. Who strengthens me. Amen. Nate ain't have no business in there. You're dead on. You're right. If you're going to be in there, like I say, you need to come and train with someone that has experience. That's right. Someone that like me, K9. Somebody and not only someone like me, but someone that doesn't have experience either, that had to learn how to get experience the hard way. See, I didn't have a whole bunch of amateur fights. I only had 10 amateur fights and became a 2-time world champion. So I learned a whole lot in the gym. So what I learned to become a 2-time world champion with the least experience, I could have gave Nate the blueprint on what he could do to gain a lot of experience with probably no amateur fights. See, Nate had 0 amateur fights. See what I'm saying? So when it came to levels and it came to experience between him and Jake Paul, Nate had no reason being in there. Not against this guy. He should have got in there with another basketball player. That's what he should have got in there with, another basketball player. And who had no experience. That would have gave him experience, and then you call out Jake Paul. See what I'm saying? Because now you got experience and know what it feel like to be in there. But just a cold turkey, cold turkey, boy, it's hard to cold turkey. You feel me? We only get cold turkey once a year, and that's on Thanksgiving. Some people get cold turkey. That cold turkey is a bad boy. A lot of people, when they addicted to something, it's hard for them just to cold turkey stop. Not all people can. So for him to cold turkey, just get in there with a YouTuber who's actually taking boxing serious, who's actually in there sparring with real pro fighters, who actually is being trained by a real pro fighter, you know what I'm saying, who was mentored by Floyd Mayweather. That's right. Jalen Love, who I used to spar all the time, was being trained and being promoted by Floyd Mayweather Sr. and Floyd Mayweather Jr. Yeah, I called Floyd Mayweather Sr. early today too, and he was, caught up in doing his thing. But he did tell me, Floyd Mayweather Sr. did tell me that his son would be back in the ring. And isn't it ironic, or isn't it funny that Floyd Mayweather brought up the fact that he was about to grade fight Jake Paul at this point in time, right when all the shine and all the noise and all this everything is being focused on Errol Spence comeback against Danny Garcia. Well, guess what? Manny Pacquiao took a page out of what Floyd Mayweather does. Floyd Mayweather, boy, when it was a shine on somebody else, he gonna come and steal that shine and take that shine, boy. All the buzz that Gervonta Davis was getting, Floyd said, I'm about to start training him. I'm gonna be a part of that buzz. Floyd loves attention, and ain't nothing wrong with it. If that's you, that's you. So, Errol Spence looked good, y'all. Man, Errol Spence, I was shocked. And I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And I commentated that fight, man. And I was like, man, this guy had me. I was in shock because I didn't know where Errol Spence would show up. I didn't know if he would still be the same. Not only was he still the same, he was actually better. I don't think that Danny Garcia expected that. Because Danny Garcia is a great counterpuncher, but he walked Danny Garcia down like Mike Tyson. He took it straight to him, and he didn't worry about getting hit. I was worried if he got hit, it'd kind of affect him a lot. I thought he would be gunshot because when you almost lose your life in a car accident and you come back and you fight the top guy, he has to be the comeback fighter of the year. And he has to be in the top 3 or top 5 pound for pound fighters in the world. And I just take my hat off to him, man. He be the beast. Danny Garcia is no slouch. If you said that Errol Spence would win, or if you said Danny Garcia would win, I couldn't disagree with you on either one because I didn't really know who was gonna win. I definitely thought Danny Garcia had a better chance than his performance. You know what I mean? But hey, he probably was in shock too. Where do Danny Garcia go from here? I don't know. I know he's going to be having a nice Christmas because he made a whole bunch of money. Errol Spence is the truth, man. And I'm listening. One thing I wanted to happen is I wanted Errol Spence, if he was to lose, not because the accident, but because that Danny was a better fighter. And he went out there and he won because he was the better fighter. It had nothing to do with his accident. He's bounced back from that. The doctor said that he was cleared to fight. It was no blood or no bleeding on his brain, and he was good, and he was good. A lot of people thought because of his speech was slurry, because he had to get a whole new grill because he lost all his teeth, that was something wrong with his brain. But my younger son, he had his teeth pulled when he was younger, and when he was talking, with no teeth, with his teeth hadn't come back, he had a different kind of a speech. His speech was different because of that. So nothing's wrong with Errol Spence. He's the truth. It was funny to see Terrence Crawford at the fight. Terrence Crawford was at the fight trying to see what Errol Spence was going to pop up or would Danny Garcia win. What is Terrence Crawford going to do next? Him and Bob Arum ain't on 10. They not on the same team. In less than a year, Terrence Crawford is a free agent. So was he out there as a guest of Al Heyman? Could he potentially fight Errol Spence in 2021? Like I say, Manny Pacquiao was smart by saying, I want Errol Spence. Like I say, he took the blueprint from Floyd Mayweather. While the talk is about boxing right now in the last couple of weeks, we done had a gang of fights. Manny Pacquiao has called out Errol Spence. Yes, and of course Errol Spence gonna answer the call. But Terrence Crawford, he just beat Kell Brook. So, boxing is in a great place right now, y'all. You hear me? It's in a great place right now. We have some of the greatest fighters in the world fighting each other. So, it's sad that we're in this pandemic that we in right now. But at the same time, the best seems to have to face the best. And even though these YouTubers and these celebrities with all these subscribers and followers are getting in the sport, and probably taken from the real fighters, it's still good for boxing because a lot of our fans are not watching boxing anymore. They on their phone. They on their Twitters, Instagram. They're playing video games. Or they into MMA. So when you get a crowd or you have someone with influence and subscribers and followers go into the boxing ring and start boxing, they are actually bringing their fan base and their crowds to boxing. So that's good for boxing. So when you lose on some point, you win in other points. And even though, I understand as a fighter, I would be upset too. But, if it was you and you had a fan base and you could take your fan base into boxing and fight who you want to fight because of your fan base and make a whole bunch of money, you would do the same. So one thing is good, another thing is bad, but out for the sport of boxing. If the sport of boxing is growing, I have a stable of fighters myself. I have my son, who I call Little K9, who's actually taller than me. So I actually look up to him, and he actually looks up to me. If you get that, with him being 6'1", and with me being 5'8", I'm getting taller and taller. They say you stop growing when you turn 21. Well, I'm 47, and I'm still growing. In my dreams, at K9 Boxing. Yeah, but so Tory Crawford is the ugly chick in the corner of the school dance. I don't know what Crawford you talking about. I really don't. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all. Y'all definitely hit them likes. Hit the likes, man. Smash the likes, y'all. I'm definitely giving y'all, all my time. I could be sitting there. I could be watching Monday Night Football. But I said I want to talk to my peoples about the greatest sport in the world. Hashtag boxing. Mayweather wins by murder. Hey, say Juan Mercalli said Mayweather wins by murder. Man, hey, I don't know if he'll win by murder because you remember, hey, Juan, Mayweather is fighting a cruiserweight. You know what I mean? He's fighting a cruiserweight. So, and fighting a cruiserweight, man, that's a big boy. And Mayweather is not the hardest puncher in the world. I think that Mayweather doesn't punch as hard as he used to punch when he was Pretty Boy Floyd because his hands, I believe, are fragile. From punching people so many years since he was a kid or his hands being wrapped the wrong way, Mayweather's hands are fragile. That's why he used to have the young man, I can't think of his name, that used to wrap his hands. He was a Mexican. He's a little older now, but he passed and may rest in peace. But he used to wrap his hands a special way because Floyd Mayweather's hands are fragile. They've been through a lot, so he has to put his hands in all kind of different creams and everything. He has to have his hands massaged and all kind of stuff because he doesn't have strong hands. But Mayweather is a sharp puncher. He's a sharp puncher. K9, have you ever smoked that gas before a fight? No, to be honest with you, Joe, I haven't smoked any weed before a fight. Even when I used to smoke weed, I didn't smoke weed when I had fights coming up. I never played boxing. When after the fights, I would call myself celebrating the way that people probably celebrate. I smoked weed and drank, and I thought I was maybe Jay-Z or somebody. We celebrated. So after the fight, I would party. But when I had a fight coming up, the partying was over with. I would get in the gym. I would smoke no weed, drink none of that. I never failed a drug test. I never smoked before a fight. I never took steroids or none of that. And I'm cut up like, what up? I got that egg. You hear me? I got that egg. I'm diesel. And I don't lift weights. I do push-ups. Yeah, I used to do 1,000 push-ups from 11 years old to the age of, I believe, 14. 1,000 every day. So I would be in the Guinness Book of Records. If Guinness Book of Records was watching me or following me from an age of 11 years old to 14, because I did push-ups on top of push-ups on top of push-ups on top of push-ups because I wanted that egg. Yes, indeed. Yeah, so if some of you guys make a comment, I don't have my teammate here right at the moment to be able to see some of your comments. Re-comment whatever you have commented that I didn't get to, and I will answer your question. Say Logan, yeah, easy win for Mayweather. Absolutely, I agree. Logan will gas out about fourth round. It depends on how many rounds they're going because Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones went 8 rounds. So it depends on. You got to remember this is an exhibition. Floyd can fight him in a 3-round exhibition, so he don't have to go 4 rounds. We got to see. When it's an exhibition, you can make your own rules up. You do as you please. So we can in the exhibition we don't know what's gonna happen, how many rounds they going. Floyd can have an exhibition where they go 9-minute rounds if you want to. It's no rules. You make your own rules. You pay the cost to be the boss, and names do sell. You know what I'm saying? That's right. So you can do as you please. Yes, indeed, y'all. Hit the like button. Hit the like button, man. Share my YouTube channel. Tell your friend and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all. I still train to this day. I'm looking forward to getting back into the ring in February and hopefully in January. Long as the price is right and it's the right opponent, because boxing is business. As you see in these YouTubers, and you see it, Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, boxing is business. And I'm just happy for the average fighter. They're getting paid more money than they ever made. Thanks to guys like Tommy Hearns, who I actually talked to earlier, and I asked Tommy Hearns how would a fight go between him and Errol Spence, and he told me night. That's right. Told me that earlier. So y'all make sure y'all tap in, because Wednesday I will have Tommy Hearns on my live. That's right, the great Tommy Hearns. I think he's 11-time world champion. Will be on my live, yes, at 9 o'clock this Wednesday. So y'all make sure y'all tap in. Y'all tap in. K9 Bundrage from Detroit, Michigan, and Tommy Hearns, the hitman from Detroit, Michigan. That's right. Two of the best fighters in the world at the time. Yeah. So y'all make sure y'all tap in. Let your friends know, man. You know, it's going down. Yeah, I appreciate y'all though, man. You know, I'm happy to be a YouTuber now and actually break down boxing. I like commentating when the fights are on live because you need to know what a fighter is thinking, and y'all need to be able to know like what I see the other fighter can set up or what a fighter need to watch out for, because I can see it. You can actually, if you want to, you could turn the volume down and listen to me commentate on what's going on. Because at one, you don't really know if the commentators, even if they actually really can commentate good, if they're ex-fighter or whatever, are keeping it 100 with you, because they looking at the people that's actually watching the fight as they don't know what's going on, and they can say what they want to say. And you know, I done had people come to me and say, "Man, K9, why you ain't throw the jab your last fight? You wasn't throwing your jab enough." And I'll be wondering, like, what is you talking about? And I thought about it. I said, they listen to the commentators. So you just can't listen to what a commentator is saying all the time. You know, I'm not getting paid to commentate right now or to put you up on history right now. You know, I do get donations and everything here and there, but it's like, it's not nothing that I would just say, oh man, I'm thankful for it. But I'm just saying, I'm doing this from the bottom of my heart because I want to actually put y'all up on game. I want y'all to learn more about boxing in the eyes of how I see it. I'm giving it to y'all for real. Like, you know, I'm not, like I say, I'm not just jitter-jabbering out. I'm giving it to you the way it's supposed to be given, and in a different perspective, and the way I saw it and what I used to do and how I do it and how I do it to this day. K9, you knowledge on boxing is off the charts. That's real. Appreciate you, Earl. I mean, I try, bro. Yeah, right. Yeah. Andre Johnson, AJ said that I think you say Floyd will lose his O. He gonna lose his O against who? Can you be more specific on what you're talking about? Because it's an exhibition. So in an exhibition, the fight doesn't count. It's the W or the L does not go on your record. If Floyd do go out there and if they do decide to say, you know, Floyd lost, it's an exhibition. He don't lose. It don't go on his record. He's a retired fighter. He tell you in a minute, I'm not coming back to fight for real. I'm not coming back to, you know, he's retired. He's fighting exhibitions and he's making a lot of money doing it. And shoot, if I can make more money fighting the exhibitions than a pro fighter, I fight exhibition too. You know what I mean? I'll fight pro fights just to keep myself in the game. And I want to retire. When I retire, if I do retire, I want to retire with 40 wins. So I'm at 37. So 3 fights and I might retire. Yeah, absolutely. And don't be talking about some, man, you're getting too old for boxing. Man, athletes are getting better and taking care of themselves a lot more nowadays. That's why Mike Tyson came back at 55 years old and looked pretty good, you know? I mean, it wasn't his fault that Roy Jones was holding like he was. You know, he didn't look bad at 55 years old. So, okay, I'll say Andre Johnson said, okay, so what if he gets beat by Logan? That's what I'm trying to say, though, is like, he can't get beat, really, you know, because the fight is an exhibition, you know. It's a difference between, so maybe I need to explain like what an exhibition is and a fight that's being sanctioned. So the exhibition is not being sanctioned by the governing body. So it means it doesn't go on his record. He is 50-0 as a professional. So in an exhibition means it don't count. It doesn't go on your record. And you can do it for charity or it's just an exhibition. The fight don't go on your record. Now, if you want to call exhibition, he could be 0-1 in the exhibition, but that don't count for real, you know? At 47, you still look like you can go, champ. Oh, TC. Yeah, Tyler Carter. Mr. Carter, I thank you. I still can go. All you got to do is just go go look at my last opponent. His nickname was Mr. Upset, and he got upset. And he quit on the stool after round 4. If y'all haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure y'all subscribe and keep pushing the like button. And y'all keep tapping in and tell somebody. Share the video and everything. I know, but he will lose his credit. He don't care. You know, Floyd Floyd will say, man, listen, I made such and such millions of dollars, amount of millions of dollars in this fight. I mean, people will say stuff, but he ain't gonna care. He gonna say it ain't on my record. He'll tell you that he gonna make up something. He gonna say, man, listen, I was just playing with the guy, man. It's an exhibition. I was playing with him. Floyd, and long as he don't lose in a real pro fight, he can get away with whatever he want to say. If he get caught and get knocked down, he gonna say, man, the guy hit me in the back of the head, or he gonna say, man, I was playing. You know what I'm saying? We did it for charity. So people gonna say what they want to say. At the end of the day, man, look, this fight, it doesn't go on his record. So he don't care about people talking. People gonna talk. They gonna talk. You gonna talk. I'm gonna talk. We gonna all have voice our opinion. So, and you voicing your opinion, I ain't mad at you, but it don't go on his real record. And he gonna make millions of dollars. When have you ever heard of a person fighting an exhibition and make millions of dollars? That's unheard of. That just lets you know how big boxing is. Boxing is the highest paid sport there is. No person, no basketball player, football player, baseball player, or soccer player, golf player, tennis player is ever gonna make $400 million in 30 minutes. No other athlete will ever make that. Floyd Mayweather made that kind of money when he fought against Manny Pacquiao. He made like $400 million through pay-per-view. I think his guaranteed purse was like $100 million, and then he made a lot of more money in sponsorship and in pay-per-view. He robbed the bank. He'll tell you in a minute he robbed the bank. And him and Manny Pacquiao fought when they were older and made more money. Now, as a fan and as fans, we would have loved to saw the fight when they were younger, but it turned out to be better for them and their family that they fought when they were older because they made more money. Yeah, so, wow. Yeah, geez, exactly. Geez, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, man. These guys making money. I'm telling you. Why you think Mike Tyson came back? Millions of dollars is why he came back. Yep. What is he gonna do with the money he sacrificed his whole life? I don't know, man. I mean, maybe buy another Bentley. He got about 40 cars, 40 brand new cars. Every year you get a new version of the same car. I mean, he got a 2020 Bentley, he got a 2019 Bentley, 2018 Bentley. You know what I'm saying? He got money to blow. He got money to blow. One thing I wouldn't do, you do what you want to do with your money, but I would never have bought a strip club because these kids need role models bad. And I don't think they need to be saying, man, when I become pro or when I'm going to buy me a strip club. We need some more role models out here, like myself. We need role models out here. He probably bored with all the money, so he comes back. Yeah. I think he coming back for boxing because he know why he still can do it. Why not continue to make money? And at the same time, I believe he blow a lot of money. His bill, he has a high price of living, so he definitely needs to keep making smart investments because his dad once said that, man, his son will go broke because he spends a lot of money. He gambles a lot. He'll tell you about all the money that he made. He never tell you about all the money that he blows or loses, And then at the end of the day, you got to remember, the casinos are going to always make more money than they actually let you win. You know what I mean? For real. So y'all remember that. Yeah, absolutely. Go Team K9. You going to definitely go. Yep. So, yeah, it's just like, man, it's a lot going on. So, Mayweather just giving away money. He needs to donate to the people. I believe, Mr. Lofton, Edna, Mayweather, I believe he has a charity and he do give money back. He do give money back. He do give away money. I mean, he looks out for people. I'm quite sure he does. From what I see on his Instagram and social media, he do give back. And you got to remember, at the end of the day, when you get money, your money is your money. You can do what you want to do. At the end of the day, the judge is God. What I would like to see Mayweather do, excuse me, I would like to see him give back more to the city he's from, Michigan, Ann Arbor, Grand Rapids. I know in Flint, the water has been bad, and for I don't know how long. Maybe he can, invest and help and sponsor or be a voice for the Flint water service. You know, Detroit has some of the greatest water services in the world. I mean, you know, the pipes are great pipes. We have some great clean water. But Flint, last time I looked, you know, they were struggling. They had poison water, man. And, you know, someone like Floyd could be an advocate for that, you know. I would like to see him, you know, help some of these gyms. You know, I would have liked to see him help save the original Crunk gym. I mean, it's not here anymore, but he could have probably helped, you know, save that gym. You know what I mean? But he didn't. But it's his money, and he's able to do what he want to do. You know, all respect to, you know, people that, you know, that do what they want to do. You know, with their money, they earned it. They do what they want to do with it. But like you say, hey, or like I say, you say, hey, I would like to have saw people do certain things with certain money. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah. My brother, my sister, and my brother's keeper. SB. Where you at? Where you at, champ? A lot of these young people, man, from what I see now, they be having different stuff in their cup. I just want y'all to know this right here is not no lean. I'm never going to be like this. I'm not going to be like that. Lean on me when you're not strong. I'm not leaning. No, this is coffee. And I'll probably be up all night because I'm drinking this coffee. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. If you ain't subscribed, definitely share this video. Share my channel, my page. Keep the thumbs up. Keep hitting the likes, bro. Do you hear me? It is sad that gyms across the country are struggling right now. Yes, it is. Okay, good. Hey, James, what's up, James? I see my fighter on here, too. What's up, James? What you been doing, man? You been working? You got to be working, bro. I hope you're working, man. I need you to come to the gym tomorrow. I'm going to be at Untitled Boxing in Bloomfield. Yeah. I'm about to put my website up, too, again, guys, so y'all can go to get this merch, these K9 shirts. You hear me? Don't bark if you can't bite. That's what it say. That's right. A lot of cats be barking, but they ain't biting with these right here. You've been training every day. That's good, man. You better keep on training, bro. You better keep training, bro. You know, you gotta send me some videos so when I'm not able to be there, I can see what you're doing. Yeah, on that dollar coffee, chap. Yeah, man. That coffee, pray for it because you know that coffee is a bad addiction, boy. You know, it's okay a cup a day, but I be going a little overboard, like the movie Overboard. You gonna call me in the AM? Yeah, hit me up in the AM. You know, any fighters who train by Lou Dububa? Oh yeah, Lou Dububa was a bad man. Lou Dububa was good. Who's ready for that vaccine? Because I ain't. Man, don't get that vaccine because it'll definitely mess with your DNA. Yep. I appreciate y'all, man. I just wanted to tap in and kick it with y'all. But yeah, Floyd Mayweather versus Logan Paul. Absolutely. That would be in February the 20th. And I heard that if you buy it right now, it's only gonna be $14.99. So the longer you wait, the more it's gonna cost. At K9 Boxing. God bless y'all. Yeah.